Look, let's face it, for most of us, buying or selling a home, it's probably one of the biggest things we'll ever do. I mean, financially, emotionally, it's just a huge, huge milestone. And it's a journey that so many of us are going to take at some point.
And let's be real for a second. The weight of that decision, it can be pretty intense. Because, it's not just a transaction, is it? We're talking about your future, your finances, and literally the place you're going to call home. So yeah, the stakes are incredibly high.
So, that really brings us to the big question we're tackling today. When you're dealing with something this important, especially in a place like New Jersey, why does using and this word is key, a licensed realtor actually matter? What's the big deal? Let's dive in and unpack that.
All right, first up, to really get a handle on this, we've got to appreciate the sheer scale of what we're talking about here. It's not just a move. For so many people, it is the biggest move of their lives.
It's so easy to just see it as a financial asset. And yeah, it's probably your biggest one. But the real value? It's so much more than that, isn't it? It's the place where life happens. It's the backdrop for all those memories. It's your sanctuary. And that means protecting it is about way more than just the money. It's about protecting the heart of it, too.
Okay, so let's shift gears and look at the actual journey of the transaction. The phrase buying a house makes it sound so simple, right? Like one single event. But the reality, well, it's a whole different story.
Think of it less like a single step and more like a long, winding path. A path with a bunch of different stages, and each one has its own rules, its own potential traps, and these super critical deadlines you just can't miss. Trying to navigate that on your own, it takes some serious expertise. So what does that path actually look like? Well, first you've got the search and discovery, right? Finding the one. Then comes that super high-stakes dance of the offer and negotiation. And once you get past that, you're in this crucial period of inspections and legal paperwork, which is about way more than just finding a leaky faucet. It's about really understanding what you're buying. And all of that, if it goes well, leads to closing day. Every single one of those steps is like a hurdle you have to clear perfectly.
Okay, so keeping that whole complicated journey in mind, let's zoom in on that one really important word we mentioned earlier, licensed. What does that actually mean? What's the substance behind that credential?
So, at its most basic level, a license is just official proof. It means someone has met a bunch of requirements set by a governing body. It's not just a fancy title they can put on a business card. It's a real verification that they've hit a certain standard of knowledge and, just as importantly, professional conduct. And this really gets to the heart of what that license promises you. It means they're accountable to someone, a governing body. They have to follow a strict code of ethics. They have a verified level of education, and they're committed to keeping up with professional standards. What this all boils down to, really, is a framework of trust. It's a big deal.
All right, so we've got this high-stakes, complicated journey on one hand and this idea of a licensed professional on the other. Now it's time to put them together and answer the million-dollar question. Why should any of this matter to you?
And this is the perfect way to look at it. On one side, you've got all the challenges you're facing. We're talking about trying to analyze the market, wading through piles of complex paperwork, knowing how to negotiate, and keeping track of all those crazy deadlines. It's a lot. And then on the other side, you have the guide. Their whole job is to take on that complexity for you, to manage all those details, and to be your advocate, your expert in your corner. So let's just boil it all down. Why does using a licensed realtor matter? 1. You need an expert to get you through that crazy, complex journey. 2. You need the peace of mind that comes from knowing there are professional standards and ethics in play. And 3, and this is the big one, you need to protect what is probably the biggest investment you will ever make. Well, when you really think about it, it comes down to a pretty simple and powerful idea, right? The biggest transaction of your life, it just deserves a trusted guide. It's too important to leave to chance. Because look, getting the keys at the end of it all, that's the destination for sure. But how you get there, that journey matters just as much. Getting there wisely, with the right guide, means you're starting this huge new chapter of your life on the best, most solid foundation possible. And so that really just leaves one final, really important question for you to think about for your own journey. With so much on the line, who are you going to trust to guide you home?